Thank you so much for having me. My name is Erin Willett. I am a hippie. I am a rebel with a cause. I am a lover of individuality. I'm a connector. I'm a communicator. Professionally, what I do is brand and culture strategy. And what that means is that I help companies to connect with themselves so they can more deeply connect with the people around them. Specifically, I help leaders articulate vision and values and use that sense of self-awareness to deepen bonds with their teams, with their markets, with their partners, with the other stakeholders that are going to help them to succeed. Think about the storylines of success that we are sold. Okay, blah, 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 then you live happily ever after. Think about the successful storyline of your career. You go to university, you graduate, you find an internship, hopefully at a company that you relatively like, you climb the ladder there, you become partner, you retire with a great severance package, and you live happily ever after. Think about the successful storylines that we're told around relationships. You date, you fall in love, you get engaged, you marry, you have kids, you buy a house, maybe the house comes before the kids, you watch the kids grow up, you retire, you live happily ever after. The same goes with storylines that we tell about companies. We see upward-facing graphs that are supposed to indicate financial success. We see stock photos of smiling business people shaking hands and closing deals. We hear about overnight successes. These stories, what they teach us is that we need to keep our moments of hardship to ourselves. The successful storylines teach us that we need to maintain a facade of success rather than telling the true story and the challenge that we're going through. The thing is that eventually we learn what all of us hopefully know right now, which is no story can be tied up with a perfect little bow. Nothing is perfect. Change is always happening. Mess is always happening. Every single one of us here is going to be faced with challenge and change and identity crises that force us to face our convictions and face our sense of self. All of us will be faced with the challenge of change. And in fact, your company, same goes, the challenge of change for individuals and for companies. Your company is going to go through an identity crisis. Many identity crises are coming your way. Congratulations, I support you. The thing is, I believe that the more identity crises you face, the better you are doing. Because every identity crisis is an opportunity for you to become more self-aware, to become more confident, to have stronger sense of conviction, to realign and to position yourself strategically for the future that you want to build. Leaders don't lead over the peaks of success when everything's going well. Leaders lead through the valleys of hardship, through the valleys of identity crisis, through the valleys of change. Leaders actually set the tone for how teams will face that change and how teams will face the identity crisis. And that means that all of you here are guides for change. Courageous companies, we need you so desperately right now because courageous, creative teams lean into their own evolution and growth. They're not afraid of changing. They're not afraid of growing. And that means that they lean into change in general. And right now, change is upon us. Think about the current political and environmental situation that we all live and work and play in. This moment in time requires change. And the courageous companies are the ones who are going to lean into it. I'm not the only one who believes that evolution is necessary right now. Your team, your customers, the planet, they desperately want you to be a courageous company. Your team is going to choose to work with you if they can find meaning in their work, if they can have a positive impact on their collective, on their society, on the planet. And people will choose to work for that sort of team over one where they'll get a big paycheck. Your market wants courageous companies desperately because they're voting with their dollar now more than ever, which means that they want to align themselves with organizations who have a strong sense of purpose, who have a strong vision, who make choices based on their values. And the planet. The planet can no longer sustain cowardly organizations, ones that aren't facing change. The planet needs us to solve the problems that we're facing, and the courageous companies are the ones who are going to do that. I dare you to tell stories of self-love, not of success. Stories of self-love are honest and they're transparent about where you're at now and where it is that you want to go. When you accept where it is that you are now, when you love where it is that you are now, you create an environment where your team can become courageous and creative. Your self-love is contagious for your team. Your courage is contagious. Lean in to your identity crisis. Lean in to your self-love. Thank you.